Yeah. Happy, 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 happy. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. How you doing, daughter?
Phenomenal. How are you, Father?
Phenomena. Phenomenal.
Did you just say that because I said it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All
Yes. Happy
right.
New Year. Happy New Year. This is the beginning of 2024. Can you believe that? 2024. Man, this thing is jetting. This thing is war. Before you know it, it'll be Christmas again, won't it?
It sure will. It absolutely will. How do
Man,
you what was I gonna say? How do you feel so far?
I feel really, really good, man. I woke up, I said, man, I didn't have no aches and pains. I went to the gym last night, worked out,
Oh, good for
got on
you.
a big stepper, sweated like a pig, man.
Oh
Then
my
I got in the
goodness.
sauna, then I did a little light, a little white, lightweight stuff. I feel real, real, real good, man.
So you back.
Back, 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 back.
you you
What do
you
you mean
back.
back? I've been
You
back.
bouncing
I
back.
just seen you
Uh-oh.
last night. What are you
Shirt
talking
off
about back?
season.
What do
shirt,
you mean?
shirt off season. Beach. We having beach picnics, beach
Well,
barbecues. You back on
it's
the
kind
beach?
of chilly out there right
I mean,
now.
in the summer, it's gonna take you some time since you're just getting back in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
I
I got
can't
to get
believe
back.
it's still cold outside.
Yes. Well, it's
Is
not
it?
really because come on, Heisman. You tell people cold. People up north are cold.
I'm
They're 20
cold.
degrees. I mean,
I don't know about them. I'm talking about me in Miami, and it's
yeah,
cold.
yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
got on sweatpants and
what
socks
is it
and
like 70 degrees or something?
it's
70?
freezing.
Not
Here's the thing: I
really.
want to go to the spa, but I can't go to the spa because it's cold.
No, I'm going to go to Hot Works. You really like that? Go to
That's
go.
exercise, and it's not the spa.
No, you go to Hot Works. You lay down there.
No, 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 no. I want to go to the spa,
Or
and a
go to the
part of this,
spa.
I can't. It's cold.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am Robert Henderson Jr. First time listeners, I'm Robert Henderson
Cold.
Jr. Certified financial planner. I'm certified tax coach. I'm the president, founder, and CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. We've been in business for over 30 years. This is my wonderful, talented daughter. She's a financial advisor and fiduciary also,
Investment
and
advisor,
she's also co-chairman of the Henderson Financial Group.
co-CEO.
Okay, co-CEO. She's been with me for 22 years,
Yeah.
and she's my second oldest of my 5 kids. She's the only
Mhm.
one that works in the office, works with me, and she's my succession plan. I don't know what happened to the rest of them, but they just say, "Hey, you want to go out and figure it out?" She says, "There's nothing to figure out."
Right here.
It's right here.
It's all figured out.
So I'll figure it out. So she had a good choice and took the choice, made those choices a long time. Matter of fact, today I want to topic today I want to talk about the power of your choices and how understanding your choices, you're really taking back your power because so many people have lost and left their power behind and they feel they don't have any choices and they feel that circumstances dictate their lives. And that's big. I really want you to understand what I just said. Circumstances, you guys kind of like react to whatever happening, but you have the choice to make things happen. So choices, we don't talk about that today. What do you think about that
I
topic?
think it's a great topic. So much so that last night, probably like 11 o'clock or whatever, I was getting my downloads and I was jotting them down. And one of them was that we all have choices, even when we think we don't have choices.
Yes,
And when people say you left me no choice, it's not that they didn't have a choice because we have choices in every and anything that we do.
every time.
It's that, and also when people feel like they don't have a choice, it's what they're really saying is, I feel like I don't have a choice because I do not know the outcome of this choice that I'm going to make.
You ran out of answers.
So I don't know the outcome. And since I don't know the outcome, right, then I am scared. I am fearful. So I am saying that I don't have a choice, but you do have a choice. And if you take the same situation or circumstance and you were given the outcome
Right.
of each same question, same situation, you're like, this is the outcome of you would say, oh, I have a choice.
Yes.
You have a choice, even though you're not guaranteed the outcome, which is interesting in this school of life that we're living in, because people often feel stunted and handicapped and like they can't move forward because they don't have a choice. But it's not that they don't have a choice; they're fearful of the unknown.
Well, they don't understand the choice. See, violence, physical violence, is a result of not of being ignorant of choice. When you think that you don't have any other choice, then you hit somebody or you get physical with someone. You run out of answers. Show me someone who gets violent. I'll show you someone who's run out of answer. So choice is when
And
people
someone
say
who is unable to regulate their own feelings and emotions.
that's mental power.
Yeah. So it on the surface, yes, they run out of answers. Well, but also they can't self-regulate. So since they aren't able to self-regulate, then they choose to get violent.
Well, that's true because that's the antiquated. That's the barbaric part of
Savage.
savage part.
Mhm.
physical becomes savage. You show me someone who is very violent. I'll show you someone who's not really a thinker. Because thinkers use mental power.
Correct.
So we started going on this line. I was saying it because most people don't realize the power and the choices that we all have.
I don't even think you said my name in the introduction. At first, I was gonna let you slide. I was like, okay, he said this.
Your name is Hyacinth Renee Henderson.
You know,
Sykes. You got a lot of names now.
Stop! What's wrong with you? You 2024 on the World Wide Web.
You think I don't know my daughter? Who I changed
Okay. I can't.
We
gotta have a one-on-one.
I came K Sarah.
Henderson.
Yes.
My name is Hyacinth Henderson.
Right.
I'm the co-CEO.
You left Renee out. That on your birth certificate has R for Renee.
My name is Hyacinth Renee Henderson.
That's right.
I'm the co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. And I thought it important to state my name because I know that we are getting new watchers and listeners all the time. And I don't want them to go away from this episode and say,
what's her name?
Correct.
They know your name.
Well,
Miss Redhead, don't they know her?
Mrs. Redhead is a loyal client turned family member. However, there are people, I'm always thinking about expansion and evolution. And there are people who this is their first time watching this video.
Well, we're going to tell them to go to the website at www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And they'll see your wonderful face right there. Bam! I think you're the first picture up, aren't you?
Second. I did put you first.
What?
I did. I mean, I do have respect for authority.
What?
I did put you first, but I am second. I mean, when you officially retire there, we going,
www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And you see a plethora of information about Hyacinth and her achievements. Okay. Now let's go back to what we were saying, the power of choices.
Okay.
That's what we're going to talk about today, because we feel that going into this new year, understanding and taking back your power, you're going to need to make some choices. And most people live their life based on circumstances, and you live your life like that. That's a reactionary position.
I like this Bill Cosby sweater you got on today too.
Why you had to say Bill Cosby? I mean, you could have said Mr. Rogers, could say anything. You know what I mean? I mean,
Bill Cosby a black man, and we used to say that coming up.
Well, Antonio bought me this sweater. Got me this sweater.
Yeah,
and it's I like I felt kind of cool, and
it's cold.
It's cold.
You're freezing.
I'm not freezing, but I want to feel warm. Plus, right after that,
it looks nice. I like this look for you.
I talked to the National Association of Black Realtors after this too on a webinar. So. You think I should put on I like this.
No, this is nice. It's very
cozy.
Yeah.
Calm, warm.
Confident. Okay, back to what you were saying.
Okay, so most people react and live their life based on the circumstances that they're in. And they feel that they have no choice and they have to do what they have to do. But you always have choices. And the moment you start realizing all the choices that you have at your command and start using them, then your life, you can dictate your life and direct your life in the way that you want to go. You really can, and you have a lot of power. But you first have to realize that you are more powerful than you think you are, and then you have to make the choice, choose the choices to help you to get to where you want to go. And you can. I don't care what situation you're in. You're in a bad situation. The only reason why you would stay there because of your choices. Anybody who's in a good situation, especially a financial situation, it's because they made some really good choices. The power of the choice. We always say thoughts. But thoughts, we have 80,000 thoughts every day, each of us,
Wow.
We really do as a human.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us just have thoughts, you think about things. And the problem is most of us thinking about the same thing, eating the same thing and doing the same thing. But choices is when it's more actionary. You have to do something, to make a choice. You have to commit to do something. You've done something. And your choices, if you in prison, that means that you made poor choices. If you're homeless, that means that you made poor choices. If you're living a life that you want to live and you want to get better, then you have to make better choices. That's all you have to do. Just think about the choices that you make, because we all nothing but choices, a sum total of the choices that we made. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. What do you think about that, Heisen? You think that in terms of when people say that they have no way out, like I know this guy who who he's been complaining about his marriage for the last 25 years.
Mhm.
And every time you talk to him, he's just always talking about his wife. He's complaining about him, playing, she won't do this, she won't do that, do that. And I said, I said, have you ever thought about your own choices
Mhm.
for your life? I mean, your wife, she won't do what you want to do. And I told him, I said, that's not according to universal law. You don't supposed to be able to play God on somebody else.
Mhm.
You are supposed to make your life what you want your life, and not having your life based on someone else's choices. If your wife won't do this, if she won't do that, that shouldn't affect you, because you have your own individual life. You're the spirit. You are the master of yourself. You cannot be the master of someone else. You have to be the master of yourself. And based on your choices, he's always complaining about his wife won't do this, his wife won't do that, his wife said that. And I said, well, why don't you just forget about your wife saying what she won't do, and you do it?
Yeah, he doesn't understand universal laws and principles, because what he's doing is creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more he complains, let me say this, the more he chooses to complain about his wife, the more she continues to exhibit the behaviors that he doesn't like.
Mm-hmm.
So he's consistently putting that out there, telling his subconscious mind that this is the type of woman she is, this is what she does, this is what she doesn't do. And so the subconscious mind is saying, great, we're going to serve that up to you. And I know that sounds far-fetched for a lot of people, but it's okay. You got time to catch up. The thing is, if he were to take a different stand and stop focusing on the I was going to say negative, but the less than desirable things that he doesn't like about his wife, and make a choice to focus on other things, maybe things that he likes about her, things that he likes about himself, things that he likes about his children, he would be absolutely amazed and surprised how his household environment would change.
Yes.
But we all know, like, when you walk in a room and you don't really like somebody, you can feel the energy.
Yeah.
We're in an energy, time, and space reality, right? So continuously to choose to talk about her, even if she's not present, she feels that. He carries that energetic blueprint with him wherever he goes, whether he's with her, whether he's not with her. So he's choosing to have an unhappy marriage. Whenever he decides that he doesn't want an unhappy marriage, then he can make a new choice and take new actions. And then guess what? He'll be happily married.
Yeah, because I was trying to tell him, which I talked to him, but he just seems like it goes in one ear and comes out the other. I was telling him about, if he centers everything about him, forget about outside, because he cannot control another human being. As a matter of fact, universal law say you don't have the right to play God. You didn't create the person, so therefore you don't have the right to dictate, they're not a robot, and how they should act. Only thing that you have to worry about or be concerned is yourself and your choices. And I've told him that plenty of time. I want you guys who are listening and watching us, I want you to see if you can see yourself in this, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friend, whether it's your brother, sister, kid, whatever. You can only control yourself and your choices. And you have to set your choices up to be able to benefit you and give you a wonderful life.
So it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the show. Most people are afraid to make a certain choice because they don't know of the outcome. So in this example that you're sharing about your friend, he is choosing not to make a different choice, whereas he does not focus on her shortcomings and the things that are less desirable about her, because he does not believe, he doesn't know the outcome. He isn't guaranteed the outcome. He can't see the outcome of him choosing to focus on other areas of his life. Like if he chooses to focus on himself and being happy, not in a way where it's like, screw you, I'm doing me, you doing you, not in that way. But if he chooses every day, if he says, I choose to be grateful, I choose to be happy, there is something that he can find about his wife to be grateful about. Like she may get up and wash the dishes or something like that, and instead of choosing to complain about all the things that she hadn't done, he will choose, because he's made a choice for himself in his life to find happiness in every single thing. He'll choose to think the thought, oh wow, my wife washed the dishes, I love that, that's so great. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's more on, he wants his wife to basically give him control of her money.
Yeah, well, he doesn't understand that. Don't get me started on that,
Yeah,
because
that's what he wants.
you don't have to. Child, we want to talk about men and women, because a woman will willingly submit.
Yes.
But if she ain't willingly submitting, sir, you definitely need to be choosing things that focus on yourself.
Yes.
Like you don't got to beg a woman to submit. A woman that like you and
understand. Since I've been knowing him since we were very young, he always really looks for others to help fulfill his destiny, his life.
That's
he looks for others to that he wants them to do what he wants them to do. So, because he has the plan in order for his plan to come together. And I've also told him, you have to be, you have to create your future. You have to do it. If you need more money, you have to get the money, earn the money, and then you don't have to ask anyone else for their money or chip in.
They're gonna want to give it to you. They're gonna see
Right.
that you're being a good steward of yours, that
Right.
you're growing something, you're a good leader. They're gonna want to give it to your wife. If your wife don't want to give you her money, you got bigger fish to fry, baby.
She don't believe that you can. And I told him
Take
that.
my money.
He doesn't
My
want
house
to.
and my car. I'm sorry.
My God, what are you?
I want to get off that, but your
It's
sorry
wild-
friend, he's
wild
65.
world- This is worldwide.
Oh, I know
web.
you're not talking.
Yeah.
Your
okay.
65-year-old friend, I don't want to talk about him no more.
Okay.
And
so
them sorry choices.
when you say that most people that don't want to make choices because
Mhm.
they're afraid of the outcome.
Because the unknown, they're afraid of the unknown. They don't know what the outcome is.
Well, most of us, when we make choices, I mean, we're not guaranteed of the outcome. I mean, you make them and you have faith and you feel confident.
Those who understand the essence of life.
Okay, explain.
You missed that part. You miss your opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, because when you have faith, you believe in something, and you're trying it, but it's
Mhm.
not guaranteed. The whole essence of life isn't guaranteed.
Because we go back to that, what we say all the time. People want to make decisions based on the seen, but it is in the unseen where everything is created.
Correct.
So
Right.
if you want to know what is going to be on the other side of that because you don't see it, then you always going to be behind the eight ball.
So you feel people are more timid because they don't have no proof.
Correct.
So they don't want to go because they don't have any proof.
Correct.
So you think okay? So you think a person who's afraid to swim don't want to jump in the water because they don't have any proof that they're not going to drown.
Correct. That they particularly are not going to drown.
Right.
Although
they don't have any proof.
Although they see other people swimming, competing,
But they think it can't happen to them.
I don't have any proof that I'm going to be able to not drown.
And
when
the
I get in
same
this
thing
water.
about why people don't afraid to fly because they don't have any proof that they're not going to crash.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
they don't know.
Well, they playing God.
Yeah. And it keeps you in a cycle, like a loop. It's like I want this, but this,
and that's fear.
You're in a loop because
so that's fear.
So I like to say you need to have a faith, but I feel like saying that you need to have faith is of a certain level of consciousness. It's not a good or bad level of consciousness. It's just a level of consciousness, right? So, however, since we know that we're always growing and evolving, if for me to tell you, you should have faith that it's going to work out. Let's say that you're at this level of consciousness that's right here. When you do the work, you will get to the level of consciousness that's here, which is higher than here. And guess what's at this level of consciousness?
What?
Not having faith, but knowing. When you know, that's different than having faith. Because when you know, you absolutely, without a doubt, know that the Creator has your back. You know what you're here to do. You know that everything is for your greater good. Right? But I understand that it takes people to go through life experiences to step into that space of that knowing. I want you to get there, though. And if you're not there yet, at least start of striving to get to the space of having faith. Like, I have faith in the unseen. I have faith that I'm going to be taken care of. I have faith that the answers are going to come to me. I have faith that I'm going to meet the people that I need to meet on this journey. I have faith, right?
Okay. So you feel that so you taking choice and you aligning them with faith.
Really knowing, but we can say faith.
Okay. All right.
You got to know. But see, the knowing only comes with you got to know yourself. You got to know who you are. You got to know who you were called to be. You got to know your powers. You got to know that you're more than this mind. Who's that texting me? They don't know you're doing the show.
No, they don't know.
Yeah,
that.
they don't know. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
have to step into that space of knowing, but you can only get there as you continue to do the inner work. So for today's show, we'll say faith. Faith.
Okay. Well, it's a cousin of faith, because in order to make a choice, I don't know, because people choose wrongly all the time.
I think people make choices even when they think they're not making a choice. Let me take out the word think. I don't want to say I think. People make choices even when
Automatic.
they feel you're making a choice.
Even if you say no,
you're making a choice.
you made a choice to say
You
no.
made a choice, absolutely.
But so therefore, this thing on choices, I think we haven't been taught to.
Can we stop saying that in 2024?
What?
We haven't been taught.
Well, we haven't. Okay, we. A
I
lot
mean,
of
not
us.
using it as an excuse.
Okay, well, consciousness,
Correct.
development.
Correct.
Okay, so conscious development,
Oh, I like that.
conscious development.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, a lot of us lack conscious development
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, so you're saying you think conscious development is automatic, or do you think conscious development you have to be aware of it? Conscious development,
I think
or you have to thirst for conscious development, and a lot of people, I would say 95% of people, circumstances, and to grasp circumstances. I'm here and this is where I am. Obviously, it's much easier to grasp than to grasp the concept, an ideal of conscious development, because circumstances, that means you just exist. You don't know why you were born. You just was born. All of a sudden, you just see yourself. But in terms of conscious development, that takes some lifting, because now you want to know and you want to learn, and you're curious,
Mhm.
and you asking questions like, why? How do I? But if you just want to exist and be fed and eat and laugh and go to the bathroom and just exist and just laugh, then that means that's not really conscious development. That's more than circumstances and existing, because you can be born into poor poverty and you stay there because you say the circumstances, this is who I am. Conscious development requires you to dig yourself out of that and make a change and make choices.
Are you saying?
Now that's deep.
I love it. I love it here too. I got on my life jacket. I love it here. I'm like, ooh, this is great. I can go skinny dipping over here. We're so deep that nobody's around.
Miss Lily Vickers is right there in the Bahamas. Oh my God, she's checking us out. You'll be calling tomorrow, right, to complete the deal? Okay, Miss Vickers. She's all the way in the Bahamas. Boy, I tell you, our reach is all over the world.
Yes, thanks to the
Happy New Year.
www, the World Wide Web. So conscious development, are you saying consciously developing?
Correct.
Or developing your consciousness? When you say conscious development, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing it consciously? Because I believe that the where we are is called life school, right? Earth school. In Earth school, we are always presented with lessons every single second, every interaction of the day.
But you got to be conscious of that.
Why is it?
Because
so what you're saying is you have to be conscious of the fact that you're here to learn.
That's right. And you have to be, in other words, that you're one of your favorite sayings is that, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Something you could just be putting something down, they ain't picking it up.
Correct.
They don't even know they're supposed to pick it up.
Correct. And so Earth School is here to teach you, and it's always giving you opportunities to develop your consciousness. I do believe that each and every one of us, unless we have some gross mental deficiency or mental disability, each and every one of us at some point throughout our day or week sits down and asks, what am I doing?
I'm not so sure, because this thing called awareness is big. Awareness.
And I believe that there are different levels of awareness. So I believe that even the drunkard or the drug abuser or the physical abuse, there's always a time. It may be a short period of time when they ask, what am I doing? It may be a split second.
Well, yeah, you are that conscious. If you're drunk, you're conscious. You know you're drunk. If you're sitting on a stoop or whatever, you're conscious. You know what you are. But in terms of working on, like, building that muscle, in terms of development and to grow, that takes effort.
Right. So that's different, right? So
Yes.
That's why I broke it down this way,
Yes.
because the consciousness, it's just a matter of who you are. Like, your inner being is always going to be, and it could be while you're drunk or the next day while you're laying in the pool of vomit and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Is this life? You have that moment, right?
That's being conscious.
Right.
You're not
However,
asleep.
you still have a choice And a lot of people don't make the choice to say, since this thought came to me,
Development.
let me develop deeper.
Right.
Because you know why? In order to develop deeper, you have to dive deeper.
Right. Which takes some more heavy lifting.
But that goes back to the choosing not to, because we don't know what we're going to get when we dive deeper.
Yeah.
It's like when I dive deeper, it's almost like buying a house and deciding that you want to gut the house and remodel it or whatever the case may be. A good contractor will tell you, all right, now, when we tear down this wall, whatever's behind there, we got to move forward, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what's like, are you sure you want to tear down this wall? Because once you tear down this wall, we don't know if it's just going to be something that's a minor patch or a minor renovation, or there may be mold and dead bodies and rats and roaches, or like, we don't know. But once we tear down this wall, we all in.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. The average person, most people would rather play scratch off or the lottery or chance. They would rather win or get lucky to get $1 million than to consciously develop a path,
because they don't know
to create and get that own $1 million.
I agree, because they don't know. So even with the scratch off, you know the two potential outcomes.
Okay, but
you're gonna scratch off and hit it, or you're not.
Okay, but see that right there, that is the lazy consciousness.
You ain't wrong when you're right.
No, that's the lazy consciousness. Just do me. Then you have the consciousness of, listen, I want to go and get it.
Yeah, that's the minor.
I want to go and get it. So let me do a path where I can go and get it. Most people just want it. They just that is circumstances, and that's circumstances, and that's saying, okay, if I can do the scratch off, if I can do the lottery, if I can gamble, then all of a sudden I can instantly become a millionaire. They don't want to do the work.
Correct.
Now, when you say no, I don't believe in that, I'm going to do the work, that's conscious development. You got to figure out how to get that $1 million.
Yes, and it all goes back to choices.
Yes. And I'm saying that most people, when it comes to choices, most people want to deal with circumstances and existence. And they will say, listen, I don't have $1 million because nobody gave it to me.
Yeah, but we know that this time space reality that we're living in, the masses fall into that bucket.
Right.
We absolutely understand that.
So this year I'm saying I want more people listening to us to take the choices back and stop playing scratch off and say, okay, I'm going to make the choices to create the life that I want.
And it's not a one-time choice.
It's development.
It's continually choosing over and over and over and over. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Over and over and over again, right?
Right.
You have to continuously choose, because you're going to be presented with different choices as you continue to journey. The problem is the masses, or most people, believe that once they make one choice, okay, I choose to be a business owner and I'm going to be so successful and I'm going to make $1 million, maybe even $1 billion, $1 trillion. Then they make that choice. And when it does not happen after that one choice, then they say this doesn't work. Same thing with people with friendships or relationships or marriages or a job. Oh, I chose this. And I chose you, and I chose to be here. And when I made the choice, it was all good. But since things have shifted, then I'm choosing not to continue to choose to do the work.
Well, that's very, very powerful, because most people think that choices have to be permanent.
Oh my God, let's get a collection plate. Let me go ahead.
And most people think, especially when they get into religion, they think that your choices have to be permanent. But I've known people who started off as Pentecostal. They went to, Judaism. They went to Muslim. Then they went to non-denomination. Those are different choices.
The power of the choice.
Yeah. And I know people who have, gotten married and said, okay, I'm miserable, but I made this commitment and I'm just I got to settle for this. And this is my miserable life. And then I know people that said, no, I got married and this is not what I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to use my choice card and this is not my destination. And I'm going to choice card and I'm going to choose to be dealt another hand and I'm going to go another way. And
so you mean get a divorce?
Yes.
Okay.
They made a choice.
Okay.
That choice was not permanent.
Okay.
And what they did was they went another way, and they're more happily ever after.
You know, I like where you're going with this. I do want to introduce a third option when we're talking about marriage, the choices.
Oh, I'm still talking choices now.
When we're talking about choices, right?
Okay,
Because
okay.
I think the masses and are under the umbrella
When you're
of
talking about marriage, I'm hoping that you bring that in with
choices, because you can
permanent choices.
well, you can always, just like we were talking
Commitments.
about with your friend, you
Right.
can always choose within it. Like, I chose to marry you. We've been married for 2 years, 7 years. We got the 7-year itch, or whatever the case may be. You change, I change.
Right.
Now, instead of me choosing to continue to harp on your less desirable qualities, I can choose to focus on myself in a way that empowers me,
Correct.
changes, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that that's an option. When I was married, I didn't realize that was an option. And I want to say that because there are people who are out there who are married now and are feeling like, well, since I chose you and it didn't, then I got to unchoose you. And the only other option is to get divorced. And that's not always the case.
No, that's not always the case.
Sometimes, like, you know, you may
depends
try
how
to do everything and that doesn't work. But I think these days people lean towards that, like it's only choice A or choice B, and there is a third choice.
No, there's plenty of choices.
Maybe more. Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of choices. But you want to make a choice. Like my mom, when she made a choice to leave my father, it's because he was physically abusing her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's something different. If you're in a marriage and this guy's spending all the money, and you, every time you save $1, he spends $10,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot talk him out of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you want him to go on the same. You're trying to do something together.
Mm-hmm. You want to join finances together and be on the same page.
Because two
financially
is stronger than one, and
that is what a union is about,
right? But that person still does not want to cooperate and go along with the path that you're trying to. Then you it's going to be pretty difficult. You know, it's going to be pretty difficult. You got to figure out a way. You still have choices now. If there's abuse,
if
there's physical abuse or verbal abuse, then you don't have to. That's don't have to be your final destination.
Correct.
Then you can say, okay, I have to make a choice to vacate this.
Correct. I agree. There are always nuances.
Yes.
But the point is, we all have choices, and there are several choices, and you get to choose over and over and over again. There is no one way, two ways, right or wrong. There are nuances to everything. The reason why I elaborated a little bit more as we were talking about marriage is because I want people to understand, whether we're talking about marriage or your job or your relationship or your desire for more or your profession, it often looks like you only have two choices. And it often looks like, as Mr. Henderson started saying, that once you choose, you're stuck with that choice. You can continuously make new choices. That's why we titled today's episode, The Power of Your Choice. Once you really spend some time with this choices thing and understand how powerful your ability to choose is, then you can change your life in miraculous ways. And people will be looking at you like you're some sort of genius. And it's really like, well, I chose different.
Yeah, because the Henderson Financial Group, even in its 30th year, it's more than 30 years. It has definitely changed.
Yeah.
I mean, our whole practice each year expands and change.
Yeah.
You know, the whole consciousness of the Henderson Financial Group, it changes every year. I mean, you know,
I was thinking about that the other day.
I mean, ever since I've been, you know, in business, every year there's expansion in terms of thought and choices and doing things a different way. It's constantly, and then you, me, us, we all have to expand and grow and develop with time, because the only thing that's guaranteed is time and change.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand time and change, then you're going to be lost. You're going to be behind.
I think understanding change is very powerful. There are a ton of people who are anchored in their ways, anchored in their being, anchored in their thinking. And they view change as something that is negative. They view change as something that is less desirable. And we cannot not mention the fact that a lot of times our peers and our family members are at the consciousness level of viewing change negatively. So they guilt you when you change.
Mhm.
So they'll say things like, you've changed.
Mhm.
And so when people say that to you, you'll start to feel bad, or you'll feel a certain way because they're like, you change. And what, if you're not careful, you'll find yourself doing and saying, no, I haven't changed. I'm still the same on me. Like, I'm me. I haven't changed. And really, if you reprogram yourself to start to realize that you should change, everything around you changes. Mother Nature is the greatest MVP. It teaches you all the time that things change. And so when you start to unlearn that change is bad and look at it in a different way, when people tell you that you change, you'll take that as a pat on the back. Like, you know what? I have been doing the inner work. I have been doing work. I have been changing my thoughts. I have been making new choices. You doggone right. I've changed. I've changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the worst compliment, I would say the worst thing that someone can say
You
to you,
still the same.
man, you still the same as 7th grade.
I remember somebody hunted me down, called the office. I'm still the same me from back in 1999.
Oh my God.
I just listened. I was like, I listen. I'm a good listener. I was listening. And then I said, okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna call you back. You don't have my number. I know, but I gotta go. Because if you telling me the same person since 1999, oh baby, you're gonna have big problems on your hands because your girl changed every 90 days.
Yeah.
Every 90 days.
I remember now that I've, a year ago, I was not doing hot yoga.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd have told me 3 years ago
I wouldn't have imagined that you would be doing hot yoga,
that I'll be doing hot yoga, infrared, sweating and all that. I wouldn't imagine, if you'd have told me, before the pandemic that I'd be riding 25 and 30 miles on a bicycle, me, a grown person.
Do you have a road bike or a mountain bike? I've been meaning to ask.
It's a road bike.
Got it.
Have a
so
road
with the
bike.
little thin wheels?
Yeah.
Oh, like mine.
Yeah. But yours is more expensive. You and Tony, y'all. I didn't pay that much for my bike.
You don't even know how much I paid.
Man, y'all bought, but cost thousands of dollars. My bike didn't cost thousands of dollars.
You have no proof, sir.
Well, they told me,
You have no proof.
All y'all, Tavares, all y'all, oh my God, y'all got, speed racer bikes. Mine is a road bike, But anyway,
thank you.
The whole point is is change, and change comes with choices. Because we all have a choice, and some people choose not to change. Change is very good. If you want to keep, zest in your life and you want to continue to grow and develop, then you have to change.
Absolutely.
It is a prerequisite to a better you. It really is. You have to change. You cannot continue to think and eat the same and do the same as you've been doing, because there's no discovery, there's no growth, there's no newness. There's nothing wrong with it. You always want to change for the better. You want to say, okay, I want to get in more vitamin D, or, I want to exercise more. I want to read more. I want to grow more. I want to learn an instrument. I want to learn how to build something. You know what I mean? I want to learn how to paint or whatever. It energizes you. And really, honestly, as you get older, I don't want you to think that you can't get smarter. As you grow and make choices to do different things, you actually create more brain cells. You actually can get more smarter as you age. Right now, I'm 65 years old. I'm smarter than I ever been in my whole life.
But not as smart as you'll ever be.
Not as smart as I ever be. I am so eager and for development and growth that I'm like a kid. I'm curious, about the things that could happen. And I know they can't. I just have to make the choices, which I do, to go toward them. And I want you to do that too, especially when it comes to your well-being, your health, and your wealth. Those are two things that you really, really want to focus on: your health and your wealth. And if you really love yourself, you want to push back from eating that bad food, because you're going to wind up with those hospitals and those doctors, and that's a business. It's not surely trying to just get you well. It's how much money they can make. It's a business. Everything is a business. You are a business. And as you working and whether you retired, it depends on your choices on how much you're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, or you're going to have to give it away. And neglecting your health and not paying attention to your wealth really can lead to your demise and unhappiness and depression.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, we didn't talk a lot about, and it's very true. People oftentimes focus on the outer material things in the material world, not realizing, again, as we say, everything on the outer is a reflection of the inner. This also includes your health. So if you find that you're mentally not feeling up to par, you're going through mood changes, you're physically not feeling up to par, whatever the case may be, if you want to make some external changes in your life, whatever they are, changing your diet, number one way to get you there.
Yeah.
Number one way to get you there. And you can start with small changes. You don't have to make any radical changes, but just pay some, like, maybe you're like, okay, now I want to start having, 2 servings of fruit a day. Maybe I want to start having 2 servings of vegetables a day.
eat avocado.
Right. Just change, you know what I mean? Little small changes. But what I was going to say is we didn't talk a lot about what to do when you're too afraid to make a choice. And I know you have a 1 o'clock, so we're wrapping up now.
Yeah, I got
But
2 minutes.
how do you do? I don't like to be rushed.
I know you don't, but we got another day.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
All right.
We have another day.
Okay.
I have to get on this. People are going to be on this panel. They're going to be waiting on me.
You're just going to be looking at the screen for 15 minutes until it starts at 1 o'clock.
That's not true. That's I got to make sure everything's okay.
It's okay to slide in at
I
12:59.
see. We got another day. We have.
You want to slide in at 12:55?
We have another day, and you ain't got there's no shortage of what you can talk about. So trust me. Hey, so today, if you missed out and you just came at the end of this show, go back and we started talking about the power of your choices. And I want you to take back your choices and not just live on circumstances. You don't want to just always react to what's happening. You want to make things. You want to make choices. You actually want to lead. You want to choose to do this and do that and go here. Okay. You want to choose. Stop just settling for whatever they give you. You want to say, okay, no, this is what I want. And this is what I want to. This is why I want it. You be on the offense some,
And understand that when you make the choice, I want you to picture yourself. This the visual, then we're going to go. When you make the choice of like taking a step, I want you to picture that you take a step and that ripples are felt throughout the world, throughout the universe, and your whole spirit team, your whole tribe is like, finally, she made a step. Finally, he made a step. Okay, let's start orchestrating everything else to come to her aid and move. But you act like you're like, why haven't I gotten this? Well, you ain't made no step. Why would I be preparing this for you and you haven't made a step? So when you are faced with difficult choices, understand, and understand that when you make that step, picture like a big old foot going boom, and it's rippling and it's waking up all your guides, your whole spirit team. And they're like, all right, it's showtime. She actually got off the couch. She actually left that deadbeat job or deadbeat relationship. She actually left, whatever circumstances. Now we can move and show her that she's supported. They say that something in the Bible, 1 footstep carrying me, 2 footsteps, blah, 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 that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, we got to go.
We got to go. All right.
So Saturday at 9 a.m. in the AM, the Understanding Money Show, Mr. Henderson and James T. Thomas will be live from Miami, Florida. And Mr. Henderson and I will be back next Wednesday.
Are you going to be in town?
I'm going to be in town.
Okay.
I was scheduled to go out of town the last week in January, but I've had enough cold weather. I came to that conclusion. I made a choice today.
Good.
And said, it's very cold in Miami. I don't want to go to where it's colder. So I need to email them and tell them I'm not coming.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'll be in town for the entire month of January. How amazing is that?
Well, I got to go to a workshop in Arizona.
And that's not on my calendar.
Yeah. It's from the 11th to the 14th. Yeah.
Party. Let's all get
party. Financial. No party.
I'm teasing. As I got older and growner, I'm like, dang, when you out of town, I can't party no more. I got responsibilities.
I got to get back.
You got to go. You got to go.
Much love to you. Peace. Happy New Year.
And so later.